full, complete, in-depth review of the 2021, not 2022, Hyundai Sonata N-Line. Quick things about this car. I did mention on my Instagram that this was going to be the 2022, and that's because I heard that it had just arrived. What I got confused about is it had just arrived from head office as a demo. This has about 20,000 kilometers on it, but that's okay. We can still review it. It's, I think, a carryover for 2022 anyways. So we're gonna go right in depth with this car. We're gonna spend about a half an hour doing that. And if you've never joined us before, we spend the first 3 minutes of this video, we're gonna allow our live audience to join. We're gonna talk about some news and some notes and some other things. And then at the 3-minute mark, we're gonna get going with the content. So if you've just joined us for the very first time, if you wanna skip ahead to that 3-minute mark, you can. And if you wanna know how to join us live, we'll show you how to do that right now. All right, let's jump in here. Here's how you join us live. On our YouTube page, there's a video down there that's kind of our standard video, which I've said every day for a week now needs updating, and I haven't updated it, so we'll have to do that. If you refresh the page at exactly 2 o'clock, which we're gonna do right now, refreshing this page, you will see that the live video then takes over that kind of key spot on the page. So we're gonna click into that, and you're gonna watch a quick little ad. I'm gonna try to skip the ad and run an ad for ourselves here. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Skip that ad. If you are looking to buy in Ontario and you want to connect with us, you can connect with me through the link in the description of this video. That'll be up there as soon as we're done our live video. And I will connect you with our sales team at Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai. Those are the 3 dealers that make this channel happen, so we'll give them your support. Yeah, so what's going on? We got news and notes time. Oh boy, lots going on. There's still rumors about a Kia pickup truck that sort of seemed to perk back up since the LA Auto Show. Haven't heard anything about that. Somebody asked me about the other day. I don't think we're going to hear anything about that. And to be honest, I don't think we'll see a Kia pickup truck until it's fully electric. So we'll get that out of the way. What else were people talking about? Kia Carnival stuff. We did a Kia Carnival SX video yesterday. And there are some comments and questions that I haven't answered yet, but I have seen a couple of them. So I'll get to them as soon as this video is done. Somebody just said they ordered a Tucson PHEV today. Cool. I hope it's from us. If you're local. And if not, then there we go. And what else is going on in the news and notes world? I don't remember a whole lot. You guys can remind me. Some of our regulars can remind me if there's something I'm supposed to update you guys on, but I don't really remember. Oh boy, I feel like there was something, but I don't remember. This is not good. I got 30 seconds to kill, and I can't remember what I was going to talk about. That's okay. Oh, really quickly, Instagram. If you guys, like I said, I mislabeled this video on Instagram. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, there's how you follow us. It's Peter Kia Hyundai channel, and that'll be from me. Oh, it was from us. Cool, Bruce. Bruce bought from us. See? These video things, they work. Thanks, Bruce. So was it Owen Sound or Brantford? Let me know, and I'll make sure I tell them, I don't know, give you an extra $5. I don't know, I'll do something for you. So that's cool. All right, so that's cool. Okay, so here we go, Sportage video. Oh, we did a Sportage video yesterday. It was a couple minutes long. We're already at 3-minute mark. We'll get back to that later. All right, 3-minute mark, just really quickly. If you are one of our regulars with us, feel free to hit the like button. We're a little low on those right now. If you're not a regular with us, then hey, hopefully we can earn your like. So what we're gonna do is spend the next 30 minutes going over this vehicle in detail. I know that seems like a long time, but there's a lot of things that you'll probably see in this video that you don't see in other videos. And of course we interact in this video, so I'll be answering questions throughout the whole thing. And this to me is the best version of the Hyundai Sonata. And the Sonata, let's be honest, the concept of a Sonata, a large-ish sedan, is not new, and this is a less flashy thing for people to talk about. And the reason I did this title as the sports sedan version, or if the Santa Cruz was a sports sedan, is because the Santa Cruz is kind of the new flashy design. Hey, there's Pat. Everybody wave at Pat. There we go. But of course, the Santa Cruz is a new design, but this car shares a lot with that and is a kind of a different personality with a lot of shared pieces. So same engine, same transmission, Bose audio inside, seats 5. A lot of things are similar to that Santa Cruz, and I think it's interesting because they have a bit of the same feel to some things from the driver's seat, which is interesting for me. Of course, you guys know that I own a Santa Cruz, and although the Sonata was not really on my radar, this N-Line, every time I get into it, is a lot of fun. Somebody asked a really good question. Will there be a Sonata N? And I'm gonna go with no, because I don't think they would put the V6 turbo engine in this vehicle, and that's really what you would need, because most of the N models have a higher performance engine. This one already has essentially that high performance engine, the 2.5 liter turbo. In the Santa Cruz makes 281 horsepower. Here it makes 290, but the big number is 311 foot-pounds of torque, so a lot of torque. And you get a lot of that torque down low in the rev range, which is a lot of fun. So somebody said something about all-wheel drive. Let me just see what they said here. Love the car. If it was all-wheel drive, it would be perfect. And I'm going to do a little spoiler alert. Santa Cruz, all-wheel drive. Perfection. So the reason this isn't all-wheel drive is actually because this is what they tell us. I mean, let's be honest, there's probably other reasons, but they do handle better, apparently, with less all-wheel drive hardware, and they can be a little bit quicker because there's a little bit less weight involved in having to put an all-wheel drive system. So it is a front-wheel drive system. What that means is it can be, quote, hard to launch, although this has launch control that you can customize, which makes it easier. What it really is good for is if you're not someone that does 0 to 60 everywhere, which is 99.9% of drivers, especially probably 100% of Sonata drivers, that's less worried about the 0 to 60 and more worried about the passing power, the acceleration power, the on-ramp power. This car is phenomenal for that. And it should be, right? Because the Santa Cruz with the same engine, same transmission can tow 5,000 pounds. This one's an even lighter vehicle than the Santa Cruz. It can't tow it all because the chassis can't handle it, or it's not rated to tow anyways. But you have a lot of power here, and I think that makes sense. So we're gonna go around and show you some of the lighting on this car a little bit later, some of the cool little details out front that they do a little differently, not just the fancy lighting in the chrome area. There's a couple other things I wanna point out up front later on. We're gonna show you the panoramic roof later, and we'll step over here for one reason and one reason only. I have a motion sensor light, and it will turn off if it doesn't see me, and we're gonna give it our best chance here. You can see the cool dual exhaust back there as well. We'll come back, take a look at the outside, but let's jump inside first. And actually, before we jump inside, let's take a look at the key. Key feels exactly like the Santa Cruz key. You know what the difference is in the Santa Cruz? This button here pops your tailgate, whereas here, it pops your trunk. Same exact thing. Lock, unlock, panic button, and your remote start on the key fob. Now, you can remote start your car from the key fob or through the Blue Link system. If you want to know more about Blue Link system, just check out our channel. I just did a video on that, show you what it can do, and it's pretty cool. All right, so Kia also has a vehicle like this. Oh, what's the color name? You know what? You guys stumped me on this. If anybody has a second to jump on the Hyundai website, for some of our regulars, you can tell us what the color name is. I was meaning to look that up because a couple of our staff here at the Brantford Kia studio were looking at it saying they really like the color, and I forgot to look up the color name. So you guys will have to help me out with that in a second, but we'll come back to that. So anyways, in here, if you're speaking of Kias, if you get the Kia version of this, it's the Kia K5 GT. Somebody says Stormy Sea. That sounds appropriate for the color, Stormy Sea. So we'll come back to that color. Again, the LED lights kind of change this color in this room. So the Kia K5, it would be the Kia version of this, and this is better in my mind because they do a couple things. This seat is better for sure. So they have this suede type feel down here, which of course holds you in the seat, but this is what I like the best. You have your lumbar support, and then you have this section right here. This little switch right here pulls the seats closer, or pulls the side bolsters in or out. Even when they're out, they're still strong side bolsters, but they really help hold you in place, and that's a lot of fun. Those of you just joining us, I want to be honest with you, this car has not hit detail yet. With inventory shortages, I will take any interesting car I can get as soon as I can get it. What's going on right now is this is a company demo that is now available for sale at Brantford Hyundai, and it has not hit their detail crew yet. And I said, I can't wait for it to hit detail and sell. I want to get it today. So that's why I have it and why it's not perfectly clean. In here, like I said, a lot of similarities to the Santa Cruz. And you can see in here, full digital gauge cluster here. It needs some service. It probably had some service, but like I said, this has been driven. This has been driven by, oh, we should show that again. Let me just turn that on or off because I think it's funny. All right. We'll turn it on and off again. Oh, we couldn't do that. Anyways, it's driven by Dad and then someone else. So you can see it's been driven by a head office person. So what I like here about the full digital display cluster, again, very similar to the Santa Cruz. This feels to me like it's the larger screen than the 10.25 inch screen. I can't remember off the top of my head. Might be the 12-inch screen in there. But you do have the digital gauge cluster, which feels very reminiscent of that Santa Cruz. And again, the Santa Cruz, the reason I keep mentioning it is it's getting all the press right now, and people are super impressed with it. And a lot of the things that they're impressed with about it are also in this, but you get it in a different flavor, and I think that's kind of cool. So again, digital gauge cluster in here, you can customize a lot of different things. You can put your navigation information up here, speedometer, there's all kinds of fuel efficiency. It is 12.3 in here, so thanks guys for looking that up for me. I'm just trusting my regulars here. The cool thing is you get some little gauge cluster here. Now, the only other vehicle I've seen this in, certainly the popular one, is the Kia Stinger, which has similar gauge cluster here. So you have the temperature, you have your turbo boost, you have your torque in Newton meters, which I think we can change from Newton meters to foot pounds. We'll have to do that in the thing later because most of us never use Newton meters here in Canada. And again, 20,000 kilometers here. Ignore the fuel efficiency, guys. I've been idling this thing a lot. Is this better than a Kia K5? You're going to have to decide which style you like the best, whether it's the K5 or whether it's the N-Line. each has their own slight advantages here and there. We did a K5 versus Sonata thing in the past. I don't know if we did this direct comparison in the past. I will say, whoops, Siri's talking to me here. I will say that the side bolstering here, you don't have that option in the K5. So there are some differences between this and that. But yeah, they're very, very similar. If you can drive both, I would say do that. And if you like the styling of one, that's the one you should buy. They're very similar other than that. Now, again, when we talk about similarities to a Santa Cruz, we mentioned the same engine, same transmission. That transmission, we talked about the engine. The transmission is the 8-speed dual clutch wet clutch. That is a performance transmission. They have used it in the N model vehicles as well, something like the Veloster N, for instance. So again, very capable transmission. But what's cool is you also have drive modes in this car, and unlike the Santa Cruz, which has drive modes and terrain modes, you have unique drive modes in this car, and we'll show you them right now. So the normal mode is right there. You can see the dash can change with your drive mode, which is the way it's set up right now. Then you have the sport mode, which is good. Then you have the sport plus, which turns the traction control off, but not the stability control. And then you can set it up to the custom mode, which we can show you a little bit later. Actually, why don't we just jump into the settings for that right now? So in the custom drive mode here, oops, sorry about my camera work here. Custom drive mode, you can set the powertrain. So he's got the powertrain set up for sport. The steering would be normal. The stability control would be normal. And I mean, one of the things I might like to do is maybe go powertrain normal or sport, sport or sport plus. So I guess that's the middle. What I would like to do is have the steering on sport. And maybe the powertrain more in the normal mode, because the way I like to drive is if I'm stuck in traffic, I don't need the jumpy, peppy powertrain to be throttle be mapped that way. But I do like the sort of sportier steering. So what we've just done there is change the powertrain to sort of the normal or the most economical mode. The steering is in the most sporty kind of feeling, and the stability control, or sorry, the stability control area is in the normal mode there as well. So it leaves traction control on. So you can really customize things up there. And again, you have the ability to adjust your launch control, which we'll just show you the drive modes again for a second. You would go to Sport Plus for the launch control. Traction control will be disabled for that. And the launch control on something like the Kia Stinger, you just set it all up, hammer the brake, and then you dump or floor the throttle, and you dump the brake, and it goes. Because this is a front-wheel drive, like the N models, it has the ability to customize how much revs it'll hold when you're flooring the gas pedal. So you're completely stopped, you're flooring the gas pedal, it'll hold the revs at a certain point and then get going. And the reason it's customizable in this front-wheel drive car is because the surface you're on may be different. If you go to a prepared track surface, you're going to need a lot less slip on that, or if you go to a different parking lots, different times of year, different places. So you can really customize the extra that launch control type abilities here. All right, somebody just asked a couple questions, and I did miss a few, so I promise I'll get back to them. We're going to keep going through here. This one, I believe, is on older software. I believe if you bought this as a new car, you would have an updated software. I could be wrong about that, but most of our other videos, you've seen that this has newer software now available in these cars. But this one still has all the new features. So this 0 right here is your speedometer. You can set up on your speedometer. I can do this on my Santa Cruz as well. So you can have your speedometer listed there. And if we were on the road, it would show the speed limit sign right below that. So that 0 there can change as a digital speedometer. You can have it. And again, you can go full screen with any of these types of things. We'll just get out of that stuff there. Anyways, you can go full screen here. You can have your radio. You can take off your radio. Normally, this is a lighter color. It does think we're in the dark because we're indoor. You can customize your mapping system up here. As we scroll across here, a lot of things you can set up. Sounds of nature is here. We all love sounds of nature. Let's just see if the weather is cleared over here. Let's see if it'll work. Hey, there we go. Clear day. Yesterday we had snow everywhere, and today you can see it's a much clearer day, and that is, again, accurate with our weather there. Nice blue sky. All right, so you can do things like HD, radio, weather, traffic, and other things. What I like to do is, if you play around the setup here, you can really see some cool things. Hey, they've changed this around. There we go. We'll do it the vehicle side. You can customize these apps and put them in different places, and that's what they've done here. The heads-up display doesn't really display everything exactly like this, but this gives you a good example of what you can see. You can see your navigation information up there. You can see the speedometer. You can see your smart cruise control. You can see what smart cruise is set for. Our speed limit signs are different than the European ones, but that'll be like our speed limit sign when it shows it. This will be if someone's in your blind spot and someone's not in your blind spot, or in the other side in the blind spot. So you can kind of see it here. I find heads-up display is really deceiving to film. It's very clear, easy to read for me. It's probably about that big for me. But again, it is a little tougher to film. It just looks like it's way out in the distance where it's not. But that heads-up display can have all kinds of information in there, and it is a color heads-up display. So you do have some of this color. These happen to be orange, not, whoops. Oh boy, come back here. These happen to be orange and not red. And actually, why don't we just show you the content selection? This is all of the things you can put in. Turn-by-turn directions, traffic signs, driving convenience information, lane safety, blind spot, radio, everything. So speedometer, you can change the size of the speedometer and so the number size, we can go large, medium, or small. And this is all the heads-up display. And of course, the color as well, you can set it to green, white, or orange. So you can just change your stuff there as well. So a lot of ability to really change up your heads-up display, which I really quite like. Lots of cool things in here. If we go to climate, you can recirculate things and do everything sort of automatically. So when you turn on your washer fluid, for instance, you get that alcohol-y type smell. It'll just activate the recirculate, so you don't have to smell that washer fluid smell. So that's pretty cool there. Automatic ventilation, same thing. Auto dehumidify, auto defog. So a lot of good stuff. What can I show you? One more last little thing. Oh, the cluster, we can change some things. So we can go to the content selection of the cluster, and you can change, so change some of the systems. So when you change your wipers on here, which are automatic wipers, it will show you there. Some of my regulars are making a very good point. Hit the like button, guys. We're going to go to the questions in a second. We're way down on likes compared to normal. So if you guys want to hit the likes, we'll go to take your questions in a second. But yeah, we're a little lower than normal, and I'm doing my best. I'm doing just as good as I always do, I think. Cool little things here. You can turn on your rear seat heating. So it does have rear seat heating. We'll show you that. There is an issue with this car, and the one thing I don't like about it, we'll show you that in a second. So here's your rear seat heaters. Turn them on, and we can turn them off as well, so you can set them up for your rear passengers. Now, here's my issue with this car. This car has heated steering wheel, good points for that, and the heated seat here. But when I turn on my heated seat, I want it on full blast every time. Then I'll turn it down from there. So this one, unlike every other car in the Kia Hyundai lineup, when you turn on the heated seat, it just goes 1 level up, 2 levels up, and 3 levels up. To turn on the heated seats on this car, you have to hit the button 3 times. Every other car, it turns on to the maximum level first, and then we can turn it down from there. Generally speaking, in the winter, when we want our seats to be roasting, or rump roasters to be on, we want them on full blast, and we'll turn them down from there. So the only thing I don't like about this car that I think they need to fix is that seat heater should just be turned on full blast, and then we'll turn it down like every other car. I don't know why, and this car is different than every other car. Automatic climate control is a dual zone system, so you can see it there, very easy. You've got dials here. Again, what's the complaint in the Santa Cruz? No dials and knobs. We've got volume knob there. You've got the dials here for your climate control here. So again, the complaints on the Santa Cruz, taken care of in this car. The other thing is push button gear shift. Now again, everybody wants the lever, right? Except for the fact that when you have a lever up here, like in the Santa Cruz, and you have a cup holder in here, it's hard to get your phone in the wireless charge pad, which my lights have turned off out there. So we'll see if we can get the lights on here. You can see this is a nice wide open wireless charge pad. You've got a lot more space in here than you would in the Santa Cruz because it doesn't have the gear shift. It's easier to get in there. 2 USB ports and 12-volt port, wireless phone charging there. Really dirty cup holders, and we're not going to focus too much on them, but you have a key slot there. Drive mode knob right there, or button right there. You can just slide it up and slide it down to get your drive modes there. We're going to put it back in the normal mode so I don't forget for later. And then as we take a look back above me, whoops, let's just turn that light off. The panoramic moonroof. Now this is cool because a lot of sedans don't have that. Usually you need a SUV to have something like that, and it works really, really well. So really good there. And while we're looking up there, Blue Link button's right up here. Again, Blue Link is primarily a cell phone app. We did a video on it just the other day. You can check out what that means there. And you also have a little thing that I really like here. The buttons there on the back of the mirror, all of those on the bottom of the mirror, you can touch them to open garage doors, which is a nice addition that they haven't always had. They kind of came for a while, then didn't come in our cars for a while, and now they brought it back. All right, lane keep, lane follow assist. This is part of that full suite of things that keep you in your lane and can react. I should probably show you the cool little ambient lighting in this car. It shines all the way around. The camera actually picks it up better than my eyes can, so you can see it flying all the way around there in that silver trim there, or chrome trim, and underneath there. It's again, my eyes don't see the light the way the camera does. It just kind of sees the reaction of the light a little bit. Now that it's dark in here, you can see it a lot easier. But we have it in there. And again, you can customize that color. It's kind of pinkish right now. We don't like that. What's the material on the doors? That's a good question. So material on the doors, oops, trying to go this way, sorry. Soft rubberish up here. So that's rubbery up there. And then you have a plastic-ish, leathery feeling thing here. Then this is softer trim, and this is soft as well with a large door handle, kind of like the Ioniq 5 will have there. All right. Does the nav system have warn about red light cameras? It probably does. I don't remember. I think it depends on where you are. I know in our towns they move those around a lot, so that wouldn't be in the nav system. But they have a lot of warnings for like school zones and other stuff like that. So I'm not sure about this particular car, but yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, guys, 52 people on. We got to go answer some questions. So 52 people on. We should easily be able to hit 50 likes today. So if you all want to have some fun with the algorithm, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we'll all hit the like button right now, and we'll see the likes and the people come join us. We're going to try to go for 50 likes today. We can do this, and but I do need your help for that. All right, we're going to come back to your questions in a second. We're going to go rear seat space, trunk space, lighting. Those are the main things we cover. We're going to turn the lights on in here for a second. As we do that, this thing can see me. There we go. Just saw we got a big pickup truck in the way today. So, all right, let's come back to your questions here, and then we'll move through. I will say driving impressions of this car. Again, I like this engine and transmission. It's in the vehicle that I own. It is very fun, very peppy. People complain, and this is where the car magazines complain. They complain that this car has trouble maintaining traction from like 0 to 60, and if you floor it, it will, but it's still very, very strong. But where this car is amazing is that passing power, the real life stuff. So there we go. Somebody says it does warn about traffic cameras. It does warn about red light cameras. So there we go. At least somebody's experience. Somebody likes the blue on the F-150. Yeah, it'll be going out to actually a staff member's son very soon. So sold that to a family member. All right. Okay, so let's just try to get the camera set up there. All right. When are you going to review the Elantra N? That's a great question. The Elantra N is really the car that performance-wise steps it up from here, turns it into a bit more of a track car. We took a first look at it at the LA Auto Show a couple weeks ago. As soon as it arrives, I will do it, but it sounds like it's going to be a little bit before it arrives. So that's a car I'm really looking forward to. Out of all the N-Line, I quite like the Veloster. I would vote for the Elantra. The Elantra might take its spot. To me, the Kona and the Veloster, I don't know, kind of same thing. The Kona, certainly the Kona is bigger and makes more sense, but I'm looking forward to that. All right. Okay. Sorry, just going through the questions here. Do you find it's harder to switch gears without looking, though? I find that when I had the rental, usually I just shift in. Oh, okay, so you're talking about the push-button shift thing? Push-button shift, this is the problem. Auto reviewers hate it because they're used to doing the same thing in every single vehicle. And they're going to tell you it's a terrible thing. And when you go test drive a car, you're going to right away hate it because it's different than what you're doing. It took me about a week of reviewing these vehicles to get in and just hit the buttons exactly where they should be. Now, I will say that the EV Kona, the Kona EV, has them in an order, or is it the Ioniq? One of those EVs has them in an order that I don't like, but this one with the reverse neutral drive and park to the side, right away you can find it. It takes just like a couple days to get used to, and then it's just second nature. So I don't find that's an issue at all. Climate vents on the seats, is it the bottom or the back or only one part? Climate vents on the seats? Oh, you're talking the, I don't think this one has ventilated seats. It only has heated seats. So there's an advantage of the K5. K5 would have ventilated seats and heated seats, whereas this one has the side bolsters that come in but not ventilated seats. So there's a couple differences between the K5 GT and this. Didn't know about the stuff under the rear view mirror. The stuff under the rear view mirror. You'll have to tell me about that. Don't know what we're talking about there. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with your comments. If one wanted to get an all-wheel drive K5, GT K5 minus, go for the Stinger. Yeah, so that's the thing. In the Kia lineup, it's easy to justify not putting all-wheel drive on the K5 GT because you've got the Stinger in the lineup. On the Hyundai stuff, it's the same idea. They just want to move you to the Genesis, right? That's really, I think, the real reason why it isn't all-wheel drive. But to be fair, it is a little bit lighter. It is quick. This car is very quick, quicker than the Santa Cruz, even to the seat of your pants kind of feel. So there we go. Okay, what else have we got here? What modes are available in the N-Line? Oh, we talked about drive mode, so I think we covered that. And just about 22, Hampton Gray in Canada, don't need the cooled seats up here. Oh, I like the cooled seats, but Hampton Gray is a cool color. I like that color a lot. I almost bought my Santa Cruz in Hampton Gray. So anything you can tell us about travel time from port dealership to Korea to US to ship cars? Been waiting on the N-Line Tucson for 4 weeks. Not really. I don't have every individual model timelines. Best thing to do is continue to talk to your dealer. Once it hits rail, it should be quick. I know there's a rail delay right now because of the BC flooding. So there was a delay in some of the rail. Normally it's not too bad, but best thing to do is just talk to your dealer about your individual car and they should be able to give you that. All right, here's where we're headed right now. Rear seat space, because it's very good. Trunk space, because it's very good. I want to cover the lighting differences off the front and the rear, and then we'll continue to go through. Why is there no performance all-wheel drive SUV yet? Why is there no performance all-wheel drive SUV yet is the real question. And there is. It's in the Genesis lineup, right? So keep in mind, Genesis has that, some of that stuff, whereas Kia doesn't have that, so they throw the Stinger in there. But yeah, I think there is. And just keep an eye on some of the EVs that are coming out as well. All right, again, very dirty car. This is, again, I'm doing my best to get cars as quick as I can. Back here, me sitting behind myself is very easy to see. Just a lot of space back here. Overall, headroom, plenty fine for a sedan. Usually their sedans are tighter. Legroom is extremely comfortable. My legs are on the seat, and check out that knee room. Just a ton of it. Only thing I don't like back here is, and this is just a nitpicky thing, they do put the cargo net on this side. They don't put it on the driver's side. And I just feel like, you know, a modern car, what's it cost to throw the cargo net there? It just evens out the look of the car even. Then you got the 2 vents there and a single USB port down there. There is an armrest with cup holders in here. And because this is a car with 20,000 kilometers on it that hasn't hit the detail thing yet, I'm not going to pull down the armrest because I'm not sure what it's like in there. One thing I will say is you could probably see it here. That big panoramic roof, if we look up from here, you just have that massive panoramic roof there, which really kind of shows itself well in the rear seats here. And again, remember these rear seats are heated. 2 levels of seat heating on the bottom only, so they are heated. All right, just so you guys know, we are at 40 likes. It's been a nice jump since the last time I asked, but we can get to 50 because 62 people are on right now, which means we're gonna have 300-400 people on this video at some point while we're live. So see if we can try to get there, that'd be great. Okay, jumping over here, I'm gonna pop the trunk. There's a lot of ways to pop the trunk. You can do it by just approaching the trunk with your key fob, but I haven't set that up right now. What we're gonna do is just hold the button and pop it like that. You can see it jumps right up, and we're gonna grab Teddy Bear behind me here. Teddy Bear is my trunk measurement tool, and Teddy Bear is gonna get a little dirty. All right, throwing Teddy Bear into this trunk. Again, a lot of people buy an SUV because an SUV is supposedly got a much bigger trunk. Teddy could still be moved a little bit more that way. This is easily a 2 Teddy Bear trunk. Just a whole lot of space here again. And if you look at Teddy Bear's tummy, he's actually got some pretty good height there too. There's a lot of height to go above him there. So I could shuffle him around, make him look a little more comfortable there. Obviously, if I pull him behind the wheels, behind the wheel wells there, he's got a ton of room to stretch out. Very, very large trunk. And I would say Santa Fe-like length. Maybe even longer in the back. Obviously, because it's not a crossover, you don't have quite the height in there. Are car seats easy to install? Yes, car seats in a sedan are pretty simple. The doors open fairly wide. Let me just show you here. The doors open fairly wide. You do have to reach around a little bit to get to the latch system pieces out back, which I'll just show you over the middle one there. You can see that there. But yeah, they're not that hard to install. The doors open wide and you do have a lot of space for them. And again, the plastic bag seats, pretty easy to get the kids' footprints off the seats when they're plastic back like that. All right, we're gonna go lighting. We'll go back to your questions. And we've got 6 people that could get us to our goal. 6 people is all it takes to get us to the goal of, oh, that's not the view anybody's looking for. 6 people to get us to the goal of, oh, key fob. So you guys are always asking me about key fobs. Do they have to be in the car? Yeah, I was leaning in the car and I wasn't close enough. So we got the key fob in the car. There we go. Headlights are on. I mentioned automatic wipers, automatic headlights, automatic high beams, a lot of automatics in this car. N-Line badging right here. Okay, so styling of this car. These wheels on camera seem to only show the bright. In person, and I wish I could find a way to show this, in person I almost don't see that bright pattern because in person, the dark side of, like the darker pattern almost shows up more in person. And I don't know how they do it, and I don't know why. Every picture I take, you know, if you come back here, you only see the bright section of the wheel, which looks kind of cool. But when you come in here, in real life, you only see the dark. Like at least the dark pattern is the only one that connects itself together in your brain. So kind of a cool wheel in person, impossible to film. Down here, you've got Hyundai's typical chrome line that runs all the way down. And this is a chrome line as well, but when the lights are on, it becomes part of the lighting. So that is now lit, not just reflective. And down here, you've got the super bright LED headlights, which I'm a big fan of. One of the cool things that I mentioned on the front of the car, you have that smart radar plate, and that for the radar plate for your smart cruise control, your collision assist, and all kinds of other systems. In a normal car, it is a panel down here, but on the Hyundai Sonata, this is that radar plate. It is the logo covered up and looking pretty cool. So just kind of a cool way that they do that. There's a lot of really cool lines on the front of this car when you look at it here as well. Just a real, oops, let's see if I can get above there. Real aggression to the look here. Everything's kind of flowing in, flowing out. So very aggressive, different look than the other Sonatas. And coming along the back side, you're gonna see the typical Sonata kind of loop on the lights here. And again, just cool little details here. The fins here. When we talk about aerodynamics, I believe the Santa Cruz is 0.37 coefficient of drag. Lower numbers are better. This one's 0.27, so significantly more aerodynamic on this car. And you can kind of see that in the design. So there's your lighting there. You got a rear diffuser down low, so the little sort of fins down here. Let me see if I can get them better view of those. Yeah, there they are there. And then of course the exhaust, quad exhaust essentially. So I would call it dual exhaust, but it is quad sort of looking. And just very cool in there. And you do have LED signal and brake lights in there, which you don't have on some of the other vehicles. All right, we had 70 plus people on. We hit 45 likes. A lot of people holding out on me today, and I get that. It's just maybe not your favorite car. So hopefully you can just say, hey, at least it's, dual exhaust quad tips. There we go. Albert helped me out with that. But I'm looking for a few more likes, and I get it. Maybe it's not your favorite car. I'm giving it my all here, peeps. So, all right, we'll see what we can do. All right, gonna go back, take your questions here. I know a few of them came in. Let me just see if I can do here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose my lighting here in a minute, but we'll figure that out. I call those catfish lights. They remind me of the whiskers. You know what? Somebody else said the same thing, that it looks like a catfish kind of whiskers on a light there. So there we go. Signals, I guess you want me to turn the signal lights on? We can do that. Genesis is supposed to compete with the German luxury brands. Sure it is, but you know what? There's a lot of German luxury sedan buyers that show up in our dealership, and I think Kia and Hyundai are aware of that. Read on a Korean blog, Tucson N is not coming. Tucson N is not coming. That's something that I would believe. I do know the Kona N. Sometimes I say Tucson and I mean Kona. So the Kona N, Elantra N, and the Veloster N are all on a video that we've done. Those are the only ones I'm aware of coming. All right. So you guys are looking for some of our golf shirts here. We can do that. We'll figure something out. All right. I don't see a ton of other questions. If I'm missing something, have my regulars jump in there. Anything to, oh yeah, so we talked about the travel time of cars, and that's it. So I'm gonna just probably wrap this up. So hey, we hit 50 likes too. So here's the thing with this car. Sedans as an overall class of vehicle are falling out of favor with people. They like what's new and what's fancy, and that used to mean SUVs. Now in the Hyundai lineup, the Santa Cruz is certainly a popular, flashy thing, and you're gonna see some pretty cool EVs coming out from us as well. But I will say, if you wanna have a car with all the luxury and technology features, Bose audio, those kind of things, comfortable seats, that handles well. This car, because it is a little lower, it does stay gripped and to the road. And when I say gripping to the road, like when we were growing up, the best sports cars didn't hold the road like this Sonata does. And I mean, some people think Sonata is maybe less sporty than it could be, but this N-Line trim holds the road like a super sports car from, our younger days. And then it also drives quietly, drives quickly, and gets great efficiency, especially on the highway, this vehicle. So that's kind of where you can sum up this vehicle. If it's worth looking at, if you want something that's fun, pretty powerful, and also efficient, and of course can fit 5 people comfortably. Let's say 4 people really comfortably, 5 people. Nobody wants to sit in the middle, but you can. All right, see a few questions coming in, so I'm just gonna jump back to them for a second, just to make sure I'm not missing something, and then we're gonna let you guys go. I like Kia and Hyundai cars. All models are different. Grill and back end, unlike Lexus, Genesis, Mazda, they all look the same. Yeah, so there is some differences here. Definitely some family looks coming in to these cars here. No other moderate sedan can go as quick as this vehicle from a rolling start. Yeah, and that's the thing. This isn't a 0 to 60 car. This is a real world car. Real world cars don't do stoplight to stoplight drag races where you're peeling the tires. Real world cars are going along going, I'm gonna make my move on the highway, country roads, whatever. That's where this car is phenomenal. It drives like a comfortable car until you gotta really show some power, and it goes. So a lot of fun there. And I think it's kind of a good mix of power. The criticism it's gonna take is that it doesn't compete with those rear-wheel drive sports sedans, but it's not supposed to be a full sports car. It is a sporty, quick, powerful sedan. So I'm okay with that being just the way it is. Can we get one in manual transmission? No. Can you open the front to see the motor? Sure. So let's turn the signals on, open the front, and then we gotta get rolling here because we're going a little over time. So signals on here, we'll start at the back. You can see right there, there's a flashing light. Again, we did mention LED signal lights back here, so you've got that. And out front here, signal light does change the bottom light only. Now, it's not showing very amber here just because of the way the lights are kind of focusing. See if I can try to get that to... Boy, yeah, that doesn't work. That is a very amber light in person, but the camera doesn't see it, and this one is still a white light there. So we'll do that, turn the signal lights off, open the hood for you real quick, and we'll probably wrap it up right there. Come on, camera, you can do it. All right, headlights off, signal off, trunk pull here. And again, this is a demo car, that's why it's a little dirty inside. 20,000 kilometer head office demo. All right. One thing that's nice for videos, struts, and again, this is a dirty car, so there's your turbo engine there. I don't know. See, I'm going to be honest. The reason I don't show under the hood, it's just a plastic panel. Everybody has their own plastic panel. There's not a whole lot to service here as well. You've got your washer fluid there and large battery in the back there. But the reason I don't show this is because it's just not a popular thing to show anymore. That's really why we do it. All right, so there's your view. You can pause it if there's something you need to see. And if not, we're going to close it down because, again, whoops, they don't like when I show dirt cars, and I mean the commenters. It is what it is, guys. This is how I get them. All right, so we're going to wrap it up there. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Tomorrow, we're back at it with a Kia vehicle. Haven't decided on the Kia vehicle yet, so you may have some choice here if you guys want to let me know. I always let you guys know what I'm filming on my Instagram channel the morning of. So I'll do an Instagram story the morning of. If you want to influence that, you can certainly let me know what you're interested in. And I'll do what I can. Keep in mind, we are working with inventory restraints. A lot of the vehicles we're putting up right now are sold vehicles, just because that's what we have. We're getting a lot better, especially in the Kia world. So a lot of vehicles coming in the next little while. So that should be pretty good. But yeah, there we go. Hyundai Sonata N-Line. A lot more fun than I always, I don't give it always the credit for. A lot of fun car. And, really should be getting the press that something like the Santa Cruz gets as far as a fun to drive, practical vehicle for a lot of people. So we'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for joining us, and have a safe afternoon. We'll see you.